Hi, everyone. This is Country Music News International, and I've got the pleasure this evening of speaking to Isaac from 49 Winchester, who are at this very moment on tour in Europe, and they haven't been here long. I think you've just finished Scandinavia.
We have, yep. We did a show in Norway. We did one in Sweden, and we've done one in Copenhagen last night, and then in Hamburg tonight.
Yeah, so you just mentioned earlier jet lag. Do you have any jet lag still?
I do. I'm not sure how, but this one's a long-lasting episode of
Oh
jet lag.
dear.
That's for certain.
You seem to have a very busy tour schedule as well. I mean, I guess that doesn't help.
Yeah, it kind of makes it hard to hit that reset button and get back to living in a different time zone. But it's all right. We're making do.
Okay, how are the rest of the guys doing?
Hanging in there, about the
Okay.
same. It's a tiresome tour, but all tours are, regardless of where they are. It just makes it a little harder when it starts with an overnight flight that's totally sleepless for me because I don't get much sleep on a plane. But
Yeah, it's really nice that you're over here. I hope you have a great time. Is this your first trip to Europe?
this is actually our second trip. The first thing we ever did over here outside of the States was we played CSC Fest in London.
Oh, right.
Not this past March, but the one March of last year, and then in October of last year we went over here and we did 13 countries with Luke Combs opening up as direct support for him. So we're doing basically all the same cities that we did in October with Luke, but just on our own headline tour out here this time.
Have you got anybody supporting you?
Yes, our buddy Drayton Farley from Alabama, a really talented singer and songwriter. We love having him out. Writes great songs. Our crowd really dig what he does. So yeah, Drayton Farley's out with us on this run.
Okay, talking about writing songs, who does it for you? Are you the main man?
Yeah, I write all the songs. That's kind of always been the case. Recently, I've kind of opened myself up to the idea of co-writing. So there are two songs on this new record that'll be coming out that I wrote with some buddies of mine, Kendall Marvel and Matt Koziel. The first single from the record that we just put out, the song called "Yearning for You," is one that Matt kind of helped me finish and tighten up. So that was an interesting experience as somebody who's always been a very singular songwriter who's been
Mm.
super particular about it and almost has sort of always done it in private. I usually finish songs basically all the way and then bring them to the boys and just kind of let them do their thing on it.
Yeah, I was listening to that today, actually. So the actual album is coming out at the beginning of August, if I read that correctly somewhere.
August the 2nd.
So this is essentially the tour that introduces the new album to your audience.
Sure, sure. Yeah, we're playing a lot of stuff on this tour from the new record. About half of it right now, and starting to incorporate more and more of it live. So by the time this Euro tour is over, we'll be playing almost the entire record live. We're really super proud of the product. I can't wait to get it out in full for people to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to a few tracks. It's not exactly straight country, is it? I mean,
No,
there are some great elements of traditional country music in there. I mean, I love the sound of a pedal steel and banjo, but the guitar is my main instrument, so that's what I want to listen to. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I can hear sort of other elements in there, especially like southern rock. I
certainly.
can I can hear some Dickie Betts on the guitar playing because that's the stuff that I grew up with.
Sure.
Um,
Sure, that's the stuff that we love. We're a band that never we've always tried to stay out of the box. We don't want to be pigeonholed into one place and say we have to be a country band or we have to be a rock band or we have to be a blues band or whatever it might be. We never set out to do that. We always wanted to make music that made sense to us and resonated with us. And I think country music is really kind of what it all boils down to because we're dudes from the country that are writing about country stuff. But musically speaking, there's a lot of influence from a lot of different places. Two of the songs on the record have a full orchestra section. That's the Czech National Symphony Orchestra out of Prague. Fast Asleep, the single that'll be coming out next. It's got a beautiful string arrangement. So we were really kind of thinking outside the box on this record and trying not to rehash anything we've already done and just kind of trying to get into uncharted territory.
Talking about Virginia, that is where you are from, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is it a small town, big town?
Very small town.
Very
Very small
small.
town in the far southwestern corner of Virginia,
Okay.
right in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains. It's a little place called Castlewood. There's about 1,000 people, maybe 1,200 people there.
Okay.
I think I graduated in a class of about 70 students. So yeah, it's small town living for certain, and we're still there. I still live there. I live about 5 miles from where I grew up.
What about the other guys in the band? I mean, they're from the same
Awesome.
area
They're
also.
all from the same area. Four of the six of us are from Castlewood.
Okay.
Three of us that are from Castlewood still live there, and the other three guys, they just live right down the road. Two of them are in Johnson City, Tennessee, which is just right across the state line. And
Okay.
piano player Tim Hall, he lives about half hour up the interstate in Smith County, Virginia.
That is actually quite remarkable that you could get together a band as you were saying that is so cohesive and you're all from the same area.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that happens very often.
It doesn't. I know that it doesn't now. I thought it was
Yeah.
normal at first, but but now that I've been in the business this long, I see that it's not. You know, it was when we started this band, it was me, Bus, and Chase. We were the original three members, and it was just a three-piece band, no drums, no nothing, acoustic guitars and a banjo. And the reason that it was us was because we were the only three musicians in our town that were of a similar age. So those were just the guys that I had to play with.
Okay.
Chase, the bass player, he's a lifelong friend of mine. I've known him for as long as I've known anyone. Grew up directly across the street from each other. So childhood friends there. We've played music together for a long time. And then we knew Bus. He was a few years older than us. He graduated with my older sister, Ivy. And he was a guitar player. And we just got together and it was kind of casual jam. But it clicked and it made sense. And we decided it felt great and we wanted to keep pursuing it. And we never did stop pursuing it. So 10 years later, here we are.
So when was it that you graduated from high school?
2013. Yep. So this October will be our 11th anniversary. Our 10-year anniversary, the 10th year anniversary of the very first 49 Winchester show. We were actually on stage at the O2 opening for Luke Combs. It was pretty
Wow.
remarkable feeling. Yeah.
Where does the name come from?
Well, we get that question a lot. That's one of the most common ones I hear. A lot of people assume it's from a Winchester rifle, but it's not. It's a street address. It's the
Okay. So
address of the place where I grew up. Yeah,
because when I looked at it, it was like, okay, well, it can't be a rifle because it's not a 49, it's a
yeah,
44 if I remember
sure.
correctly. So it's just an address where you live.
The address where it all started. That was the home place of the music. That was where it was all kind of birthed, and that was we were actually out on my parents' deck having one of our very first early rehearsals. We had a bonfire built, and I looked over. We were trying to determine what the band name was going to be. We hashed out a few things, and we rolled different ideas around in our head. And I just happened to look at my parents' mailbox, and it said on the side 49 Winchester, and I thought, man, that sounds like a band name.
It
So
does. It's
we
a great name.
threw it in there, and it stuck. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So going back to your tour, how long are you over here in Europe?
We've got about 2 more weeks. It was about a 3 week tour. We had 14 or 15 dates in I think 13 countries.
Yeah.
So it's about a 3 week run before we head back home. We love Europe in general. Anytime you get a chance to travel and see different parts of the world and different cultures, and be able to do it, while doing what you love, that's a pretty cool
Yeah.
thing. So we soak it up everywhere we go.
Yeah. So, and when you're done here, then it's back to the States and you continue touring. When does the actual tour finish?
It never finishes. The tour never stops. We're a band that really loves being out on the road working. We're in a stage in our career where we feel like we've really got to keep the pedal to the metal and just keep pushing it as fast and as hard as we can, so that we can, have that moment later on down the road where we can let off the gas a little bit and enjoy the fruits of our labor. But right now, we just really feel like it's time for us to be the hardest working band in the business, and we take a lot
Yeah.
of pride in that.
And will you be doing anything kind of special for the album release in August?
Well, we've been dreaming up a few things. We're gonna be on the West Coast the day that the album releases, which will be our first ever like headline West Coast US tour. We'll be playing LA and Sacramento and some really cool clubs with a lot of history. So
Yeah.
it'll be cool to have to have some album release shows not at home. We've always done something at home for the past albums, but this one, just the way the tour kind of lined up, we're going to be a long way from home, but it'll be really cool because that's a market that's really started to open up for us lately, and we're looking forward to getting out there and playing some rock and roll country music for them.
So, and what are the plans for? Is it just touring, 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 or are there anything special coming up
Well,
in the next
we got a lot of
12
cool
months?
we got a lot of cool bucket list festivals and stuff coming up this summer that we've been looking forward to playing for a long time. We're doing our first Bonnaroo. We're headlining some festivals this year, which is really exciting. For so long we've been grinding away to get to that point, and now to see it kind of come to fruition is great. Festivals that we've played in the past and played a 1 p.m. slot on a side stage.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to headline the thing on a Saturday night. It's really cool. So I think this summer, the thing I'm looking forward to most is kind of switching gears and getting into festival season, getting the album out in full and kind of just seeing where it takes us. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to say, I know you got to get off and play pretty soon, so I'm going to sort of love you and leave you. Uh,
No
Thanks
worries.
very much for taking the time to speak to us. We really do appreciate that.
Absolutely. Glad to do it. Thank you guys.
And all the best for the rest of the tour, and all the best for the new album, and all the best for the rest of 2024. And we
Thank
look
you, man.
forward to seeing you again.
I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Okay, take care.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.